What's up? This is Skull Drawings, and today we're going to go over how to draw a skull. It's going to be for beginners, and I'm going to kind of walk you through everything I'm thinking when I do it. I'm going to be using this pen right here, Faber-Castell PITT Artist Pen. It's a thin pen. You can use any kind of marker pen or thin marker, anything like that. That's what I'm going to be doing. So you have two choices. You can either kind of follow along with me, or you can internalize kind of what I'm saying and then kind of use it for your own drawings. The main point here is to get you better, get you started. So let's do that. So right off the bat, you could either start with pencil and then marker it in, or you could just go in with marker. I don't always go into detail. Like, I almost always go over something within pencil first, like very lightly, and then I push down and do it in whatever permanent thing you have. So I'm gonna put like a circle for the brain case. The brain is kind of housed, when you look at the skull, it is kind of like it has this back area that a lot of beginners don't put on there. It is again, houses the brain. Just kind of think of that. And I'm gonna draw a center line because it's gonna be a kind of a 3/4 view. Complete center line right down where that would be. Pull this down. Sorry if these lines are so thin that you can't see. These are made to be thin, so that I can just go over them later. I'm gonna draw this downward into a chin shape. I'm gonna throw a line at the top of the head right here. So as the top of the head turns, so let me kind of talk about this first right here, so you know this. So when you look at the head, there are kind of, if you were to simplify it into polygons, it tends to be four right off the bat. 4 planes. And think of planes as polygons, as like think of a 3D model. So right now when you look at this block, this can be the front of the face. This could be the right side of the face, kind of where the ear would be. So side. And this will be the top, right? And the top, if you were to view a head from the top, you kind of just see, it has that certain point of view. So what side can we not, what planes right here can we not see? We cannot see the bottom plane because it's angled a little bit down, because we're looking at it from a slightly higher view. And we cannot see we cannot see the back plane right there, and we cannot see the far side plane. We can't see that as viewers. So keep that model in mind for a face. So when you create a face, you have a similar model. You have this front view, plane overall, large front plane, side, and then you have that top plane. And then you still have the bottom, but you can't see it, and you can't see the far side because it's turning slightly back. You can't see the back plane either. So those are large, and those planes can be broken down into smaller increments. So just kind of keep that in mind when we're doing this. It's super, super important. If you don't understand it, ask me and we'll go over it. So if I was to think of this in simplistic forms, we're usually thinking of something simpler and then going down more and more smaller and more complicated. So the front, I would think of the front of the face as the front plane. And then the top of the head here would be the top plane. So as this slowly transitions into the top, that's kind of what people tend to call the hairline. The hairline is kind of where the forehead turns into the top of the head. Because you could say hairline could be anything, right? If someone has a receding hairline or someone's bald, how do you find that? You find it where the head's turning. And so if you take that, I put a line there and a line at the bottom of the chin, then I divide this up generally into thirds. You're gonna find the brow line is on that first thirds, and then the bottom of the nose is on that other third. So you have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So we're doing a skull though. I'm gonna go in and go to this bottom third right here, and these are all general proportions. And with my marker, I'm gonna mark where the nose is gonna be, and that I'm gonna find the eye socket, right? So I'm gonna go in, put in an eye socket shape. Shape of an eye socket is generally a square. It can be represented by many things, but I'm gonna go in and kind of do this kind of ocular shape that it has, and that's kind of very specific to the skull. I'm gonna go over here to the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity, because the nose is made up of cartilage and it's made up of bone. The bone is just kind of, you know, you've seen skulls. The bone is this little tiny part at the top, kind of like the bump on the nose, usually. And then the end of the nose is all cartilage, and when you die or, you know, when you're deceased, it'll go away because it's you know, soft cartilage overall. It kind of goes away. That's why when they find shark skeletons, that normally what they'll do is they'll find only the teeth, the jaw and the teeth, because the rest of the shark is like cartilage. So that kind of goes away. Pulling down, right here, I'm just creating the nasal. Tooth cylinder is going to pull forward a little bit because it does have that cylinder shape. So it's gonna come out a little bit. Think of it like a can crammed, kind of like a soda can shape crammed into your, like, as your mouth. Think of, like, you ever see those teeth in old cartoons, like chattery teeth? You know, that does have a roundness to it, so it's not just flat to your face. And then down here to the chin. Back up the jaw here, the mandible, I guess. And then that wraps into the lower jaw, lower mandible, I think. As that shape right here, it kind of clicks in. So, this is going to tie in right here, the zygomatic arch. The jaw, which is kind of free-floating. If it, you know, that's like in horror movies, they can rip it out, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to kind of finish this off by putting the underside of that skull. And then I'm gonna split the teeth right there where the teeth would be. just gonna do that to kind of show you that the teeth are there. And a line down here, kind of the end of the tooth cylinder. And we can fill this in if we want, just for kicks. Let's fill in this negative space. If you like the way I'm teaching this, if you like the way I'm talking through this, because some of these I don't talk through. Sometimes I just show you what I'm doing. I'm trying to talk through so that you can internalize what I'm saying and that you can take this and use it for yourself, because the whole point of the channel is that you get better at what you're doing. And if any of this helps you in any way, right? Click that like button so I know what video to put more effort on. You know, if my other video is getting more likes, then I know that I'm going to put more effort into that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, check out easythingstodraw.net. That's literally where I put, that's kind of the hub. That's where I put most videos, and I'm fixing it up right now. It's amazing. Let me know. Let me erase. I can erase some of these lines here. If you have any requests on anything, let me know, and I'll see you later in the comments. I reply to every comment, so hit me up, guys. Talk to you soon. Let's make them mad. No, not really. Later.